I've noticed a pattern throughout my life. No matter where I went, family, friends, different environments, I was often treated like the underdog. Like my voice didn't hold weight. Like what I had to say wasn't that important. And the strange thing is, I've never saw myself like that. You know what I mean? I'm cutesy, I'm dimoa, And I didn't grow up hating myself. I didn't think I was incapable or even lacking. I've always known I've had good qualities. I've always felt like I've had something to offer. But somehow, that's not how I was being received. And I don't know why, right? That's their problem, not mine. When I look back though, I can now see clearly. In friendships growing up, I was the one people overlooked. In family dynamics, if I spoke up or had an opinion, it was often dismissed, challenged, or even shut down. And when my mental health became a part of my story, it almost confirmed it for people and their perceptions of me. It turned into, you're too much, you're not strong enough, you're the weakest link. And even if those exact words weren't always said, I felt it in the energy anyway, and how I was treated, in the tone, in the reaction, in what was taken seriously and what wasn't. And here's the part that truly confuses me the most, yeah? It didn't make me hate myself, but it did make me question something very much deeper. Why are people choosing to see me this way? Like, what is in your eye, my friends? Let me understand. Because internally, I didn't feel like I was the underdog. I felt capable. I felt aware. I felt like I had value. I felt like I had so much to offer myself and the world. But in certain spaces, I was made to feel smaller than that. What I've come to understand is this wasn't about my worth. It was about the roles I was placed in. In some environments, people unconsciously decide who you are to them. And once that role is set, there's nothing really to unset it. Everything you do gets filtered through the way they see you. So even if you grow, even if you evolve, even if you show up differently, they still see a version of you they are used to. I've also had to be honest about something else. Not everyone has the capacity, right, to recognize certain qualities. Things like emotional intelligence, self-awareness, depth, expression. In the wrong environment, those things don't get respected. They get diminished or misunderstood or even used against you in some cases, which is quite true. So the shift for me, right, it wasn't about let me prove myself and prove my value. Even though I had moments of those feelings, it became let me be more intentional, about where I place myself. Because the truth is, people don't always see you for who you are. They see you for what you can offer them, what they understand, what they're comfortable with, and what role you play in their life so far. And I think for a long time, I stayed in spaces where I was being diminished. Not because I agreed with it, but because it was familiar. It was a dynamic I knew how to navigate, even though it was unhealthy. But familiarity doesn't mean alignment. So now I see differently. If I'm in a space where I feel overlooked, underheard, undervalued, I don't immediately question myself anymore. I don't look and think, is it something that I'm, permitting in my energy? I question the environment that I'm in, because the same people, right, can be dismissed in one room and deeply valued in another. So if you ever felt like the underdog in your life, but deep down there's more to you than that, right? Because there is more to you than that. Maybe the question isn't what's wrong with me. Maybe the question is, where am I going wrong and who am I around, right? Because if you live by how people perceive you, you'll always be shaped by their limitations. And if some people haven't chose to look at their life in a way where they can be their better self, they will see your growth. They will see you standing up, being yourself, as audacious, as who do you think you are, and it's just like this. For example, if someone goes and explores the world and someone doesn't leave their own area, they may dream of like, oh, the world is, a certain way, but they don't really know it because they haven't been. Whereas somebody that has traveled to many different places, they can come back and give you a more enriching experience about what they've traveled and seen because they've been out there, right? So when you're asking for feedback and say you're traveling somewhere, you want to know, oh, what should I bring? What should I do? The person that hasn't traveled anywhere probably traveled to their local city center, right? Or their local beach, right? Seaside. And to somebody that's been in the hills of, Mount Everest, or stayed with a local family in the middle of the desert, are going to have a different perception on how to navigate your traveling. You have to decide for yourself, who do you ask for advice? Do you ask the person that's not going where you are going, has not been where you have been? Or do you ask the person that has explored and seen places that you want to see, where you want to go? You have to lean more into the environments, the people, right? The places that enrich you and allow you to grow, instead of being around people that limit your thinking. And then what you do by default is shrink yourself, shrink your dreams, and live as a shadow version of yourself instead of truly embracing your light.